Welcome to our training on walking and working surfaces. Slips and falls on walking and working surfaces are a major source of workplace accidents. These injuries can occur almost anywhere at any time. Some of the walking and working surfaces that people commonly overlook include elevated platforms, runways, ladder rungs, stairs, steps, scaffolds, and outdoor areas. You can help prevent slips and falls by practicing good housekeeping and using safe practices. In addition to this course, your employer will provide hands-on training about your job site, its hazards, and the equipment you'll use. After completing this module, you will know how housekeeping helps keep walking and working surfaces safe, and be able to recall general safety recommendations for floors and passageways, ladders and step bolts, stairways and steps, scaffolds, and dock boards and ramps. Housekeeping is an important factor in all work environments and plays a vital role in maintaining a safe workplace for you and your coworkers. Keep all sites clean, orderly, and sanitary. Perform inspections regularly. Perform additional inspections as needed, such as after leaks, spills, severe weather, and other incidents or complaints. Keep floors clean and dry. Use drainage mats or raised platforms where you perform wet processes. Keep floors free from protruding nails, splinters, holes, or loose boards. Avoid placing cords and cables in areas where people could trip over them. If you do need to put a temporary cord or cable in such an area, fasten it securely. The natural properties of any surface can change substantially when people track in mud, snow, dirt, and moisture. Moisture absorbent and anti-slip mats, runners, or rugs can reduce such hazards. Make sure they are secure so that they don't cause trips or slip-ups. Pay special attention to floor maintenance to eliminate the hazards of worn, ripped, or curled up floor coverings. Quickly repair or remove these hazards. Keep floors, stairs, and other walking surfaces free of slippery substances, clear and in good repair. Survey work areas for issues by including floor surfaces in your periodic area inspections. Wear shoes with soles suitable to working conditions. A shoe that is good for wet surfaces may not provide oil, mud, or snow slip resistance. Choose wisely. Select 2 true statements about housekeeping on walking and working surfaces. Keep all aisles and passageways clear and in good repair, with no obstructions across or in aisles that could create a hazard. Some companies designate permanent aisles and passageways with painted yellow lines. Make sure aisles are wide enough to accommodate mechanical handling equipment as needed. Be aware of holes, openings, and similar hazards on floors and other walking surfaces. Use covers and guardrails to protect personnel from accidentally walking into open pits, tanks, vats, ditches, and similar hazards. Ensure that floor hole covers can support the weight of equipment and materials. Secure and mark hole covers. Not all surfaces are created the same, and some can only support a limited amount of weight. Do not place a load on a floor or the roof of a building or other structure if the load is heavier than the load rating limit. Some companies post load rating limits. Check with your supervisor if you are concerned about heavy loads that you need to place or carry through an area. True or false? If you will be moving heavy objects through an area, you do not need to be concerned about floor loading capacity, as that only applies to stationary objects. People often take ladders for granted and forget that they can be dangerous if you do not use them correctly. Keep ladders in good condition. Make sure step ladders are equipped with a metal spreader or locking device to securely hold the front and back sections in the open position. Don't use a ladder if this feature is broken. Ladder rungs and steps are often slip resistant, but must be maintained to remain effective. Inspect ladders frequently and before each use. If you discover defects, remove the ladder from service immediately. Tag or mark defective ladders as dangerous, do not use, so that others don't use them and get injured. Place ladders on level, solid ground unless you secure or stabilize them to prevent accidental displacement. Secure any ladder that you must place on a slippery surface. If you use a ladder to access a roof or other area, make sure it extends at least 3 feet or 0.9 meters above the point of support. If a ladder has rungs that are 12 inches apart, it should extend 3 rungs above the point of support. The height of the support point determines the appropriate distance between the foot of the ladder and the base of the structure against which it leans. Place the base of extension or straight ladders 1/4 of the working length of the ladder away from the base of the structure. This equals 1 foot away from the base of the structure for every 4 feet of ladder height. Face the ladder when climbing. It's best to keep both hands on the ladder and hold nothing in your hands when climbing or descending ladders. Do not carry objects that can interfere with your ability to grasp the ladder. You can use tool belts and other ways of carrying tools to keep your hands free for safe ladder use. Do not splice short ladders together to make long ladders. Do not use ladders in the horizontal position as scaffolds or work platforms. The top of a regular step ladder is not safe for standing. Never use metal ladders near electrical equipment. Some ladders are not meant for heavy loads, so know your ladder and do not exceed limits. Do not move portable ladders or rolling ladders and stairs when workers are on them. Lock casters to secure rolling ladders and stairs against accidental movement. It's common for you to find cages and wells on tall ladders. Incident experience shows that these protections may be ineffective at stopping falls. Workers caught by cages and wells are often severely injured when they become entangled. Newer ladders are being installed with systems that stop or prevent falls. In time, property owners will replace cages or wells or add protective systems. A ladder safety device is any device other than a cage or well, designed to eliminate or reduce the possibility of accidental falls. These devices may include features such as friction brakes and sliding attachments. Fixed ladders also have landing platforms. These platforms provide a means of interrupting free falls and also serve as a resting place during long climbs. Step bolts are used as hand and footholds for climbing communication and electrical transmission towers. Manhole steps are often installed in concrete, brick, or block manholes and utility vaults. Just like ladders, use step bolts and manhole steps with caution. Ensure that they are uniformly spaced and in good condition, not bent, cracked, or corroded. Because step bolts and manhole steps are commonly found in infrequently accessed locations, they may not be inspected often. You need to inspect each step visually before you use it. Follow your company's reporting process if you spot any issues such as a bent or missing step, or if you slip or lose your grip. Standard stairs provide access from one walking or working surface to another when operations necessitate regular and routine travel between levels, including access to operating platforms for equipment. Spiral, ship, or alternating tread type stairs are more difficult to use than standard stairs, so learn their safety requirements before you use them. Avoid installing special types of stairs unless standard stairs won't fit. When you use stairs and steps, keep a clear view of your footing. Good lighting is important so that you may see the next step. Keep a hand free to grab the stair railing if you lose your footing. It's best to keep your free hand on or above the railing so you can grab it quickly. Don't carry anything that keeps you from seeing the next steps. Use an elevator while carrying items if possible. Remember that wet or slippery shoes are just as dangerous as a wet or slippery surface. Wipe your shoes before using stairs or steps. If your ladder is resting against a 16-foot high wall, how far from the wall should the foot of the ladder be? Different types of scaffolds have specific safety guidelines, but some general recommendations that apply to all scaffolds include the following. The footing or anchorage for scaffolds should be sound, rigid, and capable of carrying the maximum intended load without settling or displacement. Do not support scaffolds or planks with unstable objects, such as barrels, boxes, loose bricks, or concrete blocks. Scaffolds and their components should be capable of supporting at least 4 times the maximum intended load. Maintain scaffolds in a safe condition. A competent person must inspect scaffolds to ensure they are safe for use. Repair damaged or weakened scaffolds immediately. Do not use damaged or weakened scaffolds. Tag scaffolds with problems out of service until your company can arrange repairs. Do not alter or move scaffolds while they are in use or occupied. Use a safe means, such as a ladder or ramp, to access the working platform. Ensure overhead protection is in place to safeguard anyone who may be exposed to overhead hazards. There must be guardrails, mid-rails, and toe boards on all open sides and ends of platforms more than 10 feet or 3 meters above the ground or floor. Install wire mesh between the toe board and the guardrail along the entire opening where persons are required to work or pass under the scaffolds. Don't work on scaffolds during storms or high winds, or when scaffolds are covered with ice or snow. People who use rope descent systems and other suspended scaffolding systems require specialized training about those systems and their hazards and safeguards. Secure loading ramps, dock boards, and bridge plates to prevent slipping. Movement during material handling operations can result in forklifts overturning or people falling off the dock. These incidents often result in serious injury or death to the driver and damage to equipment and material. Maintain at least 4 inches or 10 centimeters of overlap on the dock and the trailer, rail car, or other surface. Use measures such as wheel chocks to maintain overlap and prevent the movement of trailers and other cargo containers. Newer dock boards are designed with raised edges on the sides to prevent accidental runoff. Use handholds on portable dock boards to permit safe handling when the dock board must be repositioned or relocated. Open-sided work platforms and surfaces present a risk of falls to lower levels or falls onto or into dangerous equipment. Prevent or stop falls with guardrails, work positioning and restraint systems, safety nets, and personal fall arrest systems that include a harness, lanyard, and anchor point. Generally, it's better to prevent a fall rather than stop a worker who has fallen. People may be hurt during the fall and must be rescued, even if arrest systems function perfectly. Companies hire or contract qualified people to design and maintain fall protection systems. Workers who use these systems need training beyond the scope of this training course. Which of the following should scaffolds and their components be capable of supporting? You should now know how housekeeping helps keep walking and working surfaces safe and be able to recall general safety recommendations for floors and passageways, ladders and step bolts, stairways and steps, scaffolds, and dock boards and ramps.